if you'd like them. And today we're going to be moving on to our third Prana Vayu. So just as a very quick recap, our first session, we looked at Prana Vayu, right? So that's the pranic energy that draws into the body, draws energy in. Last time we looked at Apana Vayu, which is the energy system that pushes waste out of the body. And today we're going to look at Samana Vayu. And this is the energy of metabolism. Okay. So we remember Prana Vayu was up here, right in the chest and the head. Apana Vayu focused on the pelvic floor. Samana Vayu will focus at the navel center. So we see the navel center as our own internal fire. Okay. And in a physical way, we're thinking about metabolizing food, right? So working with the navel center will definitely bring our metabolism up, right? We'll warm the body up. And then on a more subtle level, we're thinking about metabolizing ideas, okay? Metabolizing changes in your life. So when change is happening, especially when it's in it's a session and a lot of things are coming at us, Samana Vayu helps us integrate that, okay? So when things are happening and you say, I can't even process that, right? That would be an example of Samana Vayu not functioning optimally. Okay. So we want to kind of own change, and we want to kind of accept it, make it part of our reality. Okay, not something that we're kind of just holding or denying, all right? So we metabolize both in a physical way and in a mental, emotional way as well. So in Vedic times, the primary ritual was the fire ritual, and that involved a sacred fire. And people were really worshiping the element of fire, right, for the heat, energy, clarity that it brings. And later, as philosophy developed, in the Upanishads, that fire, that sacred fire, moved inside the human body. So in a way, when we do our practices focusing at the navel center, focusing on Samana Vayu, we're paying homage to our own internal fire, sacred fire. All righty, so, and we will have a pranayama as well, and we'll get to that a little bit later on in the practice. Okay. So any questions on anything before we get going? That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. And as always, if you need anything, please turn on your microphone and let me know. Alrighty, and we're gonna actually start out standing today. So as you can imagine, a practice that stokes your internal fire is a little bit more active. So don't sign off. That's just our disclaimer here this morning. We'll start standing and we'll start with that idea of warming up the body. Make sure my chair is out of the picture. Okay. All right, so if you want to come up onto your mat, and we're going to be standing with the feet about hip distance apart, soft fists with the hands, and we're going to bring elbows back and then arms straight. Okay, so just a gentle swinging motion. And especially in the winter, this warming up period is important. Heat moving down into fingers and down into our toes. So it's kind of an active movement. All right, and then we're going to step the feet just a little bit wider, keeping those soft fists in the hands. We're going to twist. So your eyes stay forward, and we're just going to let the arms flail. Gentle but vigorous twist in the spine. Good, just warming up the body. And as you're doing this, feeling that lift through the crown of the head so we stay nice and tall. And then we're going to come back to our mountain position. So once again, ankles are underneath the hip joints. And we have soft claws with the hands, elbows are bent. And we're just going to do alternate scissors. Yeah, nice big swinging motion, nice and easy. And keep your shoulders relaxed. So don't be up here. Shoulders are down, chest is lifted. Nice and easy. And then we're going to take this to parallel with the floor. So we're going to slow it down just a little bit. Okay, so we're easy on the shoulders. And you're going to feel the chest open. And you're going to feel the shoulder blades draw together as the arms come back. So opening and closing. And maybe we're starting to feel a little bit warmer. And then we're going to continue this motion. Now we're overhead. So extending the arms overhead, again, alternating. Two or three more, big swings. All right, very good. And the arms relax, shake it out. Nice big inhalation. We're going to interlace the fingers now above the crown and press up through the palms. So flip and press up. And then as you exhale, elbows soften. So 5 big breaths just like this. Inhale, press up. Exhale, relax. And last one, inhale, press up. And this time as you exhale, let's release the arms down. Again, we'll shake it out a little bit. All right, interlacing the fingers again, elbows will stay bent, and we're going to chop wood. So as you inhale, let's bring the hands up, and wherever they stop, whatever feels comfortable in your shoulders, you may stop here, you may stop overhead, you might notice your hands can come behind your head, so don't strain the shoulders. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale up, exhale to the heart. 4 more. Last one, inhale, and exhale down. Okay. Take the feet apart just a little bit more, and we're going to bend down into the knees, so make your knees bouncy. And the heels of the hands will come into the lower back. So hands are just resting on the back of your pelvis, and let's take the hips around. So waking up hip joints. Nice. Big circles. And let's take it the other way. Again, nice big circles. And let your hands really press gently into the lower back so you're feeling that support in the lumbar spine. And then coming back to neutral. Again, feet are in Tadasana, neutral. And we're going to inhale, bring the arms up overhead, come up onto your toes. And then exhale, heels down, arms press back. Okay, 4 of these. Inhale, come up. Exhale, press back. So flow right along with your breath. And as best we can, the ankles are steady, feet are strong. And the next time you come up, let's see if we can hold up here. On your toes and hold, hold. Good. Heels down, arms down. Okay, we're going to do some forward folding now. So if from a standing forward bend, you like to have a block, why don't you grab it now? Have the block where we can get it. And we're going to interlace the fingers again, place the hands behind the back, and the hands are just sitting on the sacrum. Okay, so elbows are bent, it's nice and easy. And we'll do a moving forward bend to start. So keep your chest open, shoulder blades back. And as you inhale, we're tipping forward at hip joints. Come to the place where your body stops, and then a deep bend in the knees. Exhale, push up. Okay, we're going to do 5 more, just like this. Inhaling, tipping forward. Bend your knees, exhale, come up. And again, flowing with your breath. Time number 5, we're going to stay forward. Okay, so you're looking down at your block. And now if you'd like to, you can straighten your elbows. You could lift your arms up off your back. Okay, so it depends on how your shoulders are feeling. Otherwise, hands stay on the sacrum. And just make sure there's a little softness in your knees aren't locked out. And just feeling that straight line from the pelvic floor to the crown. So the head is not dropped. And then your arms are up, bring them back onto the sacrum. Keep bending your knees, and everybody drop your hands either to the floor or to your block. Okay, knees are soft. And then we can stay here with a flat back if that feels better. Or you can start to drop your head, drop your shoulders, and straighten your knees. So we're coming to either a flat back forward fold or ragdoll. Ragdoll, the weight of the head, the weight of the shoulders is just drawing the upper body down towards the feet. And it's nice and easy, knees are soft. And just feeling a nice deep breath in the abdominal region. So breathe deeply into your belly. And then as we think about coming up, soften your knees, draw the navel in, and start to roll up along the spine. So we're restacking, coming back up, shoulders to the ears and back, and release down. All right, so we're going to move now into some sun salutations. We're going to go through 2 sets. We'll do the first one more slowly with holds, and then the second one with a little bit more on flow. All right, so I'm going to face the short end of my mat, looking over at you. So everybody is starting then up at the front. Hands are together at the heart, and we are in prayer position. And with your eyes closed now for a moment, feel the body balanced over the arches of the feet. We remember from last time, Mula Bandha. So just a soft lift in the pelvic floor, drawing up through the center line of the body, up through the crown of the head. So we're nice and tall. And then your eyes open. As you inhale, release your arms down and bring them up overhead. Okay. Now allow your breath to flow. Shoulders are dropping away from the ears. And feel that your shoulders can be relaxed away from your ears, and yet you can lift your heart into that space between the hands. So we're looking up towards the ceiling. And then we'll take a swan dive back down to forward bend. So arms come down to the floor, and we're going to step right leg back. Drop your knee, and we're coming to our runner's lunge. And let's just stay here and warm up the hips a little bit. So we'll move. Left knee bends and straightens. If you're on a hard surface, if you don't have wall-to-wall carpeting under your mat, it's a really good idea to have a folded blanket or a beach towel for your knees. And it's going to be rough on our kneecaps. Okay. Next time we come forward, we're going to hold this. So the idea is that the pelvis is dropping down and sliding forward. We can bring this up into a crescent moon. So let's bring the arms up by the ears. Again, shoulders are relaxed and the fingers are awake. So spread your fingers, open palms, and then we'll lift the heart and the eyes to the ceiling. Okay, stay here, relaxing shoulders. And then let's bring the arms back down. Hands are going to frame the left foot. Right toes turn under, and we'll be stepping back into a plank pose. Okay. So we'll stay here in plank, keep the body nice and flat. Dropping the seat a little bit. Just a few more breaths, plank pose. And then, dropping your knees to the floor, straighten your ankles. Let's come back to an extended child's pose. And just staying here in your extended child's pose, you can start to walk your fingers away from you. Your spider fingers. And as your fingers are walking away, we're lengthening the back. We're going to take a moment here to do some side stretching as well. So you can lift your head just a little bit and start to walk your hands to the right. So keep the upper body low. And we're walking the hands to the right. And when you go about as far as you go, again, we're dropping the head. And directing breath now into the left side of the rib cage. Your seat's up, that's fine. My knees are a little stiff this morning. I know my feeling's not as good as it can be. That's fine. Okay, as long as it doesn't hurt, it's just good to do it. And then again, we're lifting the head just a little bit, and the hands are walking across the mat and over to our left. When your body stops, drop the head, relax through the spine. And now directing that breath into the right side of your body. So breathing into the right side of the rib cage, right shoulder joint. And then we'll take that back to center. So walk back to the center of your mat. And walk your hands towards you so that your head and shoulders are back up. And we're going to come out onto our bellies. So let's get our nose nice and low to the mat. And we're going to slide out onto the abdomen. Frame here. Good. And then from here, we're going to be doing a moving cobra. So your forehead is down on the floor. Your palms are on either side of your rib cage. And for a moment in this position, feel where the navel center is. Okay, so feel your navel center as it presses gently into the floor. And now as you inhale, you're going to lift your head, lift your shoulders, and turn and look over the right shoulder. And then as you exhale, bring the head back down to the mat. As you inhale, lift the head, lift the shoulders, turn and look over your left shoulder. As you exhale, bring the forehead back to the mat. Okay, so you got it. We're going to keep moving along with the breath. On the inhalation, lifting the head and shoulders and looking over the shoulder. And then on the exhale, coming back to position. That's a nice strong upper back. Hands are there as a guide, but they're not pushing. They're just staying. And it's the upper back strength that is lifting the head, lifting the shoulders from the mat. And then the next time that your forehead is down on the mat, let's stay there. And we're going to come up into our downward facing boat or Superman pose. So we're on the forehead, the arms come alongside. And as you exhale, really press the navel center into the floor, engaging through the buttocks, pointing the toes, lifting the legs. And then the head and shoulders rise and we're reaching back through the fingers. And so we're balancing right on the abdomen for about 5 breaths. Or a nice steady hold here. And then when you're done, come on down to your right cheek. And from your right cheek, we're going to bend the knees and let's windshield wiper the low legs. So the lower legs just drop from side to side. And then we're steady and big toes are looking up at the ceiling. Let's gently lift the head. And now we're resting on the left cheek. And we're going to spin at the knee joints. The low legs move together. Big toes are drawing circles up on the ceiling. And switch direction. And then just relax the legs down. We're back on our kneecaps. And the hands are on either side of the rib cage. We're going to push up into table. And from there, come up into downward facing dog. Push up to your table position. And then toes turn under. Yes. And we're lifting up into down dog. And once you're up there, we can pedal. You can lift up and down on the toes. So just give your back body a really nice long stretch and press the mat away with your hands. Okay. And then you're looking at your wrist. We're going to step the right foot behind the right wrist. And then the left foot behind the left wrist. And your knees are bent. Inhale. Draw the arms up and overhead as you come to standing. Palms touch over the crown. Exhale, hands to the heart. And just stay here for a moment, maybe closing your eyes, feeling the movement of breath at the abdomen. Big belly breaths. And then the eyes open. Inhale, drop your hands. Bring the arms up overhead. Good. And again, we're looking up into that space between the palms. Shoulders are relaxed, heart is lifted. And just stay here, allow your breath to flow. Good. And then we'll swan dive down to our forward bend. And step the left leg back. We're coming again to our runner's lunge. And when you feel steady, pelvis moves forward and back. Okay. So just remember the guidelines for lunging. The knee is not coming beyond. Okay, and then we'll drop into the lunge. Pelvis is down and forward. Arms are alongside. Let's take a big inhalation. Bring the arms up and now lift the heart, lift the eyes to the ceiling, reach through your fingertips, crescent moon. Good. Stay here for about 5 breaths. And then let's release the hands down and we're framing the right foot. Again, we're moving out into plank pose. So left toes turn under, right leg comes back. Okay. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, pressing back through your heels. And our goal is about 5 breaths. Thinking a nice straight line from the crown to the pelvic floor. When you're ready, drop your knees, straighten your ankles, come back to your extended child's pose. And then draw yourself out onto your belly. So your nose is nice and low and you're kind of slinking across your mat. And then from here, we're going to move into. So let's come up to elbows underneath shoulders. Bring your awareness again to the navel center, feeling where the navel touches the mat, and 5 deep belly breaths. Let's feel the abdomen press in as we inhale, and then draw back in towards the body on the exhale. Alrighty, and then let's lower back down to the forehead. Bring the hands back by the rib cage. And again, we'll move through table to downward dog. So press into your hands, come on up into table, toes under, down dog. And then looking up at your hands, again, we'll step the right foot behind the right wrist, left foot behind the left wrist. Your knees are nice, soft, and bouncy. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Arms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. And again, we'll just stay here for a few breaths in our mountain pose. Body should feel warm. The breath should feel deep. And eyes open. Now we're going to go through without really holding. Okay. So inhale, drop the arms. Swoop up, look between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg back, runner's lunge. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, bring your arms down, toes under, plank pose. And then drop your knees, bring your seat back to extended child's pose. Your nose gets low to the mat. Let's come out onto our bellies. And then inhale, either supported cobra or unsupported cobra. So you can stay low or you can push in and come all the way up. Okay. Exhaling back to the forehead. And then up into table, toes under. Inhale, down dog. Look up at the space of your wrists and we'll step the feet forward. Right foot behind right wrist, left foot behind left wrist. Big inhale, swoop the arms up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. A few resting breaths. Oops, sorry about that. Don't bring my mat back. I'm kind of sliding across my rug. Okay, and now we'll move through the left side. Inhale, drop your arms, swoop up, look up between the palms, soften your knees, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your left leg back, drop the knee, straighten the ankle, crescent moon. And then exhale, hands come down, framing the right foot, toes under, plank pose. Drop your knees, straighten your ankles, come back to extended child's pose. And then draw your body out onto your mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, table. Toes under, inhale, down dog. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, very good. Let's walk around a little bit. Alrighty. So next I would like to do our hip rolls, and we'll do those standing today. Okay, so we do them different ways, right? Sometimes we do them on our backs. Sometimes we do it in table pose. Today we'll do it standing. So if you want to hold a chair for balance, you can definitely do that. Okay, your hand can be on the wall. Okay. Let's start by allowing the weight of the body to come over the left leg. Lift your right knee high. Press open, around, and through. So our goal is about 5. Okay. And now same thing, other direction. Knee goes back, around, and through. So focus. And then land the foot. All right, weight of the body now over the right arch. Lift your left knee high, press open, around and through. Our goal is about 5 in each direction. Best you can, steady pelvis. When we hit 5, let's go the other way, knee back, around. So important to take care of hip joints. And when they get tight, they affect your legs, your lower back. One more. And land your foot. Alrighty. So now we're going to look at a practice that's called Agni Sara. And Agni Sara is one of the master practices of the yoga tradition. And it is probably the most important practice when working with Prana Vayus. So I know a lot of you know Agni Sara. This won't be new. If you don't, you're going to learn it today. And it's a practice that is said to be the most important for both that idea of energizing, right, of kind of stoking fire at the navel center, and also as a cleansing practice. Okay, so it kind of gets things moving, so it helps the other values as well. Okay. So if you remember, last week we worked with Mula Bandha, or the root lock. So the idea there was that firming and lifting of the pelvic floor. Okay, so Mula Bandha is a part of this. The abdominal squeeze is a part of this. And I think we all know the Kuchana Prasarana, the drawing in and out of the navel. What might be new is the lock that happens in the abdomen. And that's called Uddiyana Bandha. The idea here is that we draw the navel in, just like you do in your abdominal squeeze, and then we suck it up. Okay, so we might just play with that a little bit, just see if you can find that engagement. So it might be useful to rest your hands above your knees, and maybe just do a couple abdominal squeezes as you know them. So on the inhalation, the belly relaxes, and on the exhalation, we squeeze the belly button towards the spine. And on the inhale, release. Okay, and then after a few of these, let's think about that lock. So as you exhale, draw your navel up towards your spine, and then imagine you're drawing your navel up under your ribs. And then release. Let's try that again. Exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine, and then draw the navel up. And release. After a couple tries at that, you can come back up to standing. Okay. Are people feeling that? Yes, okay. Yeah. Okay, so if it's new, it's kind of unusual, but the feeling might be that the navel comes in, goes, sucks up. And later, when you're all alone, you can watch yourself do this in the mirror. If you lift your shirt, you can actually see the abdomen kind of suck up. You might see your ribs a little bit here too. Okay, that's our abdominal lock. So in Agnisara, what we're doing is we're first lifting and squeezing the pelvic floor. That's our Mula Bandha. Drawing in the low abdomen, drawing in the navel, and then sucking that up into the Uddiyana Bandha. The third lock that's happening just naturally is Jalandhara Bandha, and that's the neck lock. The neck lock is very easy. All it means is that the chin is dropped. Okay. So we always practice very gently with the neck. We don't want to do anything strong with the neck. Okay. So your third lock will just be the fact that your chin is stopped. So before we get into doing this, I just want to say our precautions with this. It's a strong practice. If you're on your cycle, if you're pregnant, if you've had abdominal surgery, had a big breakfast, any of these reasons, we want to do this very softly without locks. Okay, so if any of those apply, there's a reason to be soft with your abdominal region this morning. You can do diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, so here we go. Knees are bent, hands rest above the knees. Just take a few relaxing breaths. And then on your next exhale, lift and squeeze pelvic floor, draw low abdomen in, draw navel in, suck up. And then release the navel, low abdomen, pelvic floor. Big inhalation here. Exhale, pelvic floor, low abdomen, navel, suck up. Inhale, release the navel, low abdomen, pelvic floor. Let's try one more. Inhale and relax for a moment. And then exhale, pelvic floor, low abdomen, navel, suck up. Inhale, release the navel, low abdomen, pelvic floor. Let's relax and stand up for a moment. Move your pelvis around. All right, is that pretty good? We're going to do 3 more of them. We're just allowing everything to relax. And so the idea then is that we're moving right along with the breath, and you start to feel less like you're working in segments and more like it's a flow. So it's tightening up, relaxing down, tightening up, relaxing down. And that just comes with practice. So in the beginning, you're definitely thinking about each piece of it. I'm thinking about my root lock, low abdomen, navel, Uddiyana Bandha. And then after a while, I just see it all as one motion. That makes sense to everybody? And it's practice. Okay. All right, so let's do 3 more. You ready? You want to be nice to your low back, so we're down on the hip joints and knees. Not bent over at the waist. Yes. Knees. Okay. Inhale and relax. And then exhale. Lift and squeeze, pelvic floor, low abdomen, navel. So up. Inhale, release, navel, low abdomen, pelvic floor. Keep going. See if you can do just a couple more on your own. And keep looking up because I'm looking at you guys. But you should have your chin dropped. Almost like you're looking at your belly. Yes. After you've done 3, go ahead and come on up. Again, walk around a little bit. Sarah. Taking the energy at the navel center. Also very cleansing for the pelvic bowl. All right. So when you're ready, let's come on down to the floor. I'm going to start seated. So if you want to grab your meditation cushion or whatever you sit on. just have the legs in front. Okay. And we're going to do a practice now that's called Ganesha Mudra. So we know Ganesha is the elephant-headed god. So this is kind of a lumbering movement. And it's like when we undulate the spine, right? We all know that movement. The difference is we're going to be breathing with it. What's difficult about this is we're going to be breathing backwards from good diaphragmatic breathing. So you're used to inhale, expand the belly, exhale, relax. Okay. Instead, we're going to inhale, suck the belly in, exhale, push the belly out. So hands are on your knees, and as you come back, inhale, suck your belly in. Exhale, push your belly out. Inhale, suck in. As you come back, exhale, push out. Good. So again, we're undulating the spine. You might feel lumbering. Inhale, suck in. Exhale, push out. Your belly's a little sore. Do this gently. And we'll keep moving. Now let's go the other direction. Again, pull back. Inhale, suck in. Exhale, come forward, press out. Your shoulders, face relaxed. And then sitting up nice and tall. Let's just do a couple of shoulder rolls here. Just setting our posture. And we're going to do the pranayama now that goes along with Samana Vayu. So when we did Prana Vayu, we did Vastrika, which is a very rapid breathing that brings a lot of energy in. So it was like, okay, and the next time we did Apana Vayu and Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is a cleansing breath, like, so our focus was cleansing. Right? So this practice is called Surya Bedi, and it means sun piercing. And to understand what we're doing here, we need to understand that the body in Hatha Yoga is seen to have energy channels running through it. So we have this center nadi. Nadis are much like meridians, they're energy channels. The center nadi runs straight up to the crown of the head. And that's one of the reasons that we do a lot of that breathing between the crown and pelvic floor. We like to bring energy into this Sushumna Nadi, the central energy channel. Okay, when energy is there, we feel very balanced, meditative. There are channels on either side as well. On the right-hand side, it's more of a warm masculine energy. On the left-hand side, it's more of a lunar, cool energy. Okay. And the idea is that these energy channels run along either side of Sushumna and come up to the nostrils. So when I'm breathing into my right nostril, I'm stimulating that sun energy, that masculine energy. So this breath is much like alternate nostril breathing, except we're only inhaling into the right nostril. Okay. So we're going to use the thumb and ring finger of the right hand. Okay. And we're just resting on the nostrils for now. Exhale completely and then close the left side. Inhale right. Close the right side, exhale left. Close the left side, inhale right. Close the right side, exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. So keep going because I'd like you to do your own natural breath. Just remember, you're only inhaling on the right, you're only exhaling on the left. And the breath is still long and deep. Okay, so these are complete breaths. And we'll take about 2 more. At the bottom of your next exhale, you can take your hand away. And just focusing on breath in the nostrils. Allow your eyes to open. Okay, so this has been so far a heating kind of practice. So I'd like to take a few moments now for a yin posture, just to keep everything balanced. So we're going to do a seated forward fold, and you can do this either with your legs in butterfly pose or open. Okay, so you can choose which is better for you. And you don't want to be as high as you are up on a bolster. A folded blanket is fine. And I'm going to either have my heels together in my butterfly pose. This will be my base. Or if you prefer, the legs are open. And you can be working from here. Okay, so choose your leg position. And we're nice and tall, and we're starting to tip, tip, tip out over the legs. So if you are more comfortable with a flat back, that's always fine to stay like this. If this is easier for you to breathe, or if you have back pain, you're okay. Let's start to round now. So the head is dropping, shoulders are rounding. If you want to reach for a bolster or a block or something to support yourself with, you could definitely do that now. Okay. So when we're dropping the head, it's good to support the weight of the head. And that might mean forehead on a block. It might mean stacking your 2 fists so the forehead can rest on the fists, or turning the head so the cheek is on the bolster or on the block. If your head is turned so that you're on a cheek, just remember after a little bit, you might want to lift your head and turn to the other cheek, keeping that balance of twist on both sides, twisting motion on both sides. And now letting your eyes close. And allowing the body to be heavy. So in our stronger practices, we're using muscles, right? We're squeezing the belly in, or we're moving through sun salutations. In our yin postures, we want to let the muscles go. So there's no sense of holding yourself at all. You can feel your head heavy on your block. The weight of gravity drawing the head down, shoulders down, as we kind of surrender to the weight of our own body. And then you can begin to bring your awareness through the body, just noticing which places in you call your attention. Maybe where you're feeling this the most strongly. Could be back of the legs or inner thighs, could be low back. Or it could be some other place in you that's maybe healing from something. So the mind is used to talking all the time. In our yin postures, we'd like to move beyond language, beyond words, and just feel. The sensation in your toes, sensation in the palms of your hands, awareness of how you're holding your face. Awareness of the sensations of air touching your arms, your feet. So you bring yourself to that place where your skin and the air around you touch. You can feel the material of your shirt on your back. The sensation of your mat under your heels or feet. And an awareness of the breathing body. Now stay here for about 10 more breaths. And as you move through these 10 breaths, let the whole body breathe. Expanding with inhalation and emptying with exhalation. As we start to think about moving out of our yin postures, we always do so very slowly, and let your hands help. So you can start by walking the hands back towards the body. And slowly come upright again. And just moving hips off to the side. And so if you're in butterfly pose, you're going to be closing your knees with your hands. If you're in straddle position, again, we can help the legs come together. And let's all just be seated with our knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And we'll start a very slow tipping motion. So waking up those joints. And then we're going to make this into a twist. Okay. So as the knees drop to your left, let's bring the right arm across the body, look over the left shoulder. And come back to neutral, knees drop right, left arm across the body, look over the shoulder. And just 2 or 3 more on each side. Nice soft twist. So great to get that energy moving again. And then next we'll be going back down onto the mat, so back onto our backs. And bring a block with you. So as you position yourself back in Back on your back, have that block within reach so you don't need to sit back up for it. Let's see if that's moving the frame again. That's slippery. All right, and you're just going to be lying down on your back with your knees bent. And again, we'll be fanning the knees from side to side. Just a little twisting motion. Yeah, it's been a whole hour to get down onto the floor. And then we're going to draw the knees into our wind reliever pose. So let's bring the knees up. Again, rock out the low back. And we're going to sneak in another practice for the navel center. It's our Manipura chakra. And these are going to be figure eights. Again, engaging abdominal muscles. So we're going to have our heels on the floor, toes up. And the block is going to go between the knees. It can either go long way or it can go the side. So it depends on how close you want your knees. And the knees are going to just very gently squeeze the block. You feel the legs are engaged. Good. Take a nice big inhalation. And then as you exhale, let's draw the block up towards the belly. Inhale, swoop out to the side and draw a circle. Exhale, squeeze up the center line. Inhale, swoop out the other way, draw a circle. Good. Exhale at the center line. So you got it. You're drawing figure eights with the block. As it comes up center, it's a squeeze and an exhale. On the inhalation, we're swooping out to the side. And it's usually best to have the palms down on the floor to steady you. If your back is irritated, the hands can step underneath the pelvis and support you underneath the pelvis. Good. Let's take a break. So go ahead and grab your block and bring your feet to the floor. Again, gentle dipping. And then let's try to do 5 more. Okay. If your belly's sore, you can just rest here, that's fine. Otherwise, here we go. We're gripping the block with the inner knees. Toes are spread, we're on our heels. Inhale. And then exhale, squeeze, bring the block up. Inhale, swoop out. Exhale, squeeze up the center line. Inhale, draw a circle on the other side. That was 1. And you can focus right in at the abdomen. You can feel it squeeze, feel it let go. Yeah, last one. Unless you don't let go completely at any point because we're keeping the legs up in the air, that's effort. Okay. And when you've completed your last number 8, the block comes out. Set it over to the side. Gentle fanning with the knees. This would be a good place for IT band stretch. So when the knees are at the ceiling, let's step the feet wide. So our feet are on the edges of the mat. And now let's have the left knee dip down towards center line. And come up. And then the right knee dips down towards the center line. And come up. Yeah, so again, we're just fanning. Up. And then our last posture is going to be a reclined twist. Okay, so again, twists are very good for actually stimulating the whole length of the body, especially at the belly. So bring your feet back to position. Okay, so they're neutral underneath the hips. And we're going to cross the right leg over the left. So just like you're sitting in an office chair. And then let's pick up the whole pelvis and we're going to scooch the whole pelvis to the right. Okay, scooch to your right. And then the right knee is going to drop left. So you can guide it with your hand. Take it slow. And the right shoulder might pop up a little bit, but let's not go so far as we're rolling onto our side. So we want to keep the chest open to the ceiling. And then you can lift your head and turn and look right. Bring the head back down. And we're going to stay here for about 10 breaths. If your knee is up, the hand can stay on the knee and just gently weight it. Good. Again, long, deep breaths. And then let's roll the head. So again, the eyes are at the ceiling. Palms are back on the floor. We're going to roll back onto the back of the pelvis. Okay. Uncross your legs. And we might need to bring ourselves back to center. So you can lift your pelvis and scooch back to center. Knee tipping. And then we're going to twist the other way. So when you're ready, left leg now is going to cross over the right. Push into your foot, lift your whole pelvis up, scooch left. And then the right hand will guide the left knee across the body as you drop right. Again, come in slow so you know where to stop. And we'll stop before there's any strain in the left shoulder. You can lift your head, turn and look to your left, and then bring the head back to the floor. Good, again, it's about 10 breaths. This is in its own way a sort of yin pose. So you might think about those same things, allowing the shoulders to drop, the knees to drop, softening the hands and feet as you breathe. Relaxing through the belly and sides of the waist. And then we can roll the head, eyes are back at the ceiling. The knees back to the ceiling. And always move slowly out of a long hold. Let's uncross the legs. All this back to the center of your mat. Okay, we might close with a wind reliever again. So let's draw the knees up. And maybe you want to try the open leg variety. We normally do wind reliever with thighs closed. But we can open the legs, draw the knees towards the hips. And wiggle your toes and rock. All right, so next is our relaxation. So if you'd like to prepare your space, socks, fleece, blanket, bring your lights down, and just take a moment now to make yourself very comfortable. It's snowing like crazy here now. I look out my windows. I'm glad I'm here. So preparing your space. And then when you're ready, you can allow your eyes to close. And just allowing in a feeling of stillness. Allow that stillness to spread down the arms into your fingers, down the legs into your toes. And as you become aware of the floor underneath you, allowing the whole body to soften, allowing the floor to hold the weight of your body. Relax across your forehead, the space around your eyes, the space behind your eyes. Relax across your cheekbones. Soften your jaw, allowing the teeth to part just a little bit. And now move around the sides of your head. Travel into your ears. Across the back of your head. The sides of your neck. The back of your neck. And as you relax the throat, soften the insides of your cheeks. Relax the tongue. The tongue is up on the roof of the mouth. Maybe it drops now. And for a few breaths, again, just feeling the movement of breath as it goes in and out of the nostrils. Relax your shoulders, your upper back, soften across your chest, the space around the heart, Arms are soft, elbows, lower arms and wrists. Relax your hands. Relax your fingertips. Again, softening the hands, elbows, shoulders. Travel along the sides of your body, sides of the chest, the sides of the waist. Travel down to the mid-back. Relax the lower back. Relax the muscles of the belly. Yeah, so you think about how our practice really teaches us to be strong in the abdomen, right? So whether you're doing your plank pose or doing your Agnisara practice, you have to be just as good at letting it go. So you may think you relaxed your abdomen, but see if you can relax even a little more. And as you relax even a little more, feel how the breath grows. So then you might wonder, can I let go even a little more? So we carry often layers and layers of tension in the abdomen. We can't just snap our fingers and let that go. So it's a process. Letting go and following the breath. And then letting go a little more and a little more. Soften the space around the sacrum, glutes, hip joints, and softening the muscles in the thighs. Relax your knees, lower legs and ankles. Soften the feet, the arches of the feet, all the toes. Relax the tips of your toes. And now start to draw your awareness back up the body. And as you move back up the legs, again, just noticing. Can you let go a little more? As you travel up the length of your spine, as you travel up the back of your neck, as you explore the muscles in the face. Go a little more. Nice big inhalation, and then feel your exhale enter through the crown of your head and travel down to your pelvic floor. Inhale from the pelvic floor up the length of the body to the crown of the head. Exhale, crown the floor of the pelvis, and from the floor of the pelvis to the crown. And as your mind just follows this pathway of breath up and down the center line of the body, you might start to see it as bright white energy. You might allow the visualization to come of perfect light. It travels right along the spine, up to your crown. And as your mind follows the breath up and down the center energy channel, your awareness is filled with light. And now, as you feel ready, let's come to our meditation position. So being very gentle with yourself, and as best you can, keeping your awareness on the inner reality. You might roll to your side, find your cushion. And if you meditate in a chair, you can gently bring yourself up into your chair. The shoulders come up to the ears, press back and drop down the body. The hands are resting on the thighs, with the thumb and the pointer finger touching. And so the idea of prana moving through the body, this completes a circuit. This is a mudra. And pointer finger and thumb touch. And now see if you can bring yourself back where you were when you were on your back, to breathing right along the center energy channel. So between the pelvic floor and the crown. And if you can bring yourself back to that visualization of white light. This brilliant energy that runs through you. And then keeping that image in the back of your mind, bring your awareness to the movement of breath in the nostrils. And now see the pathway between the nose bridge, so the skin between the two nostrils, and the eyebrow center. Inhalation travels up to the eyebrow center. Exhalation travels down the bridge between the nostrils. And as you're breathing this pathway, you can begin to hear the sound of the mantra come forward. So as you inhale up here in your own mind, so. As you follow the exhale down, so. And just allowing the mind to flow with the breath. Allowing the mind and the breath to flow with the sound of the mantra. And you might start to see that brilliant, bright light now in the eyebrow center. So as the mind relaxes, becomes more focused, more clear. Allow white light to flood the space of the eyebrow chakra. And you might very clearly see it, or you might feel it. Don't worry too much about how it expresses itself. Now we're going to rest in that brilliant white light, handing over the job of breathing to the body. So the mind is just resting still in that brilliant white light, and the mantra is disjoining itself from the breath. As awareness rests in the light of the eyebrow center, you might hear so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum. Whatever tempo presents itself. And we're so used to using this mantra with the breath that sometimes you might fall back into breathing the mantra, and that's fine. So let the breath go again. Come back to sound. As your body is breathing in the background and you trust it to do that. Now you might imagine that that white light spreads from the space between the eyebrows up to the crown of your head. So feel the crown of your head. And bring the mantra to the crown. Light radiating from the crown of the head, the sound of the mantra at the crown. And if your awareness starts to move back down into the body, come back to the sensation of the skin at the top of your head. Om Bhurabhuvaha Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Good. And now take a few deeper breaths. Release the sound of the mantra, release the visualization. Allow your awareness to flow down into the body. Wiggling our fingers, moving our shoulders. Twisting from side to side. And again, you are aware of the room around you. And we're going to bring our hands together and warm our palms. Bringing your warm hands over your eyes. Allow the eyes now to open and your awareness to be drawn back out. Well, thank you all so much for being here. It's always a joy to see your faces. I see you a little better here because I'm closer to my computer. So good for my old eyes. Beautiful day. Enjoy the snow if you're getting it. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
That was beautiful.
Pleasure.
You.
Thank you, Tracy. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too. I'll see you later, Thomas. Good night. Right? Teacher training.
Yes.
Yep. Full day. All right. Enjoy, everyone.